She is a brand new bag and she's 40 years old. You know, we're both wrinkle free. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Annette and this is a Vintage Splendor. And if you couldn't guess, I have very special guests on today's episode because we are talking about all things luxury. I love seeing all those digits in my retirement account, but I also like to live in the moment. So I like to invest in really fabulous vintage designer bags. So today I'm going to share my collection with you, plus tips on how to get your favorite vintage and secondhand designer bags. Because if you missed that one episode, I did mention that you should never buy designer items retail, only shop vintage and secondhand. Okay, are you ready to get started? We're going to start with my latest find, and I have to say it is my favorite. Plus, I think it is the most practical one of the bunch. So this is the Chanel bum bag or belt bag, fanny pack. All of those terms apply to this fab beauty. And she is a practical mom bag, or even if you're not a mom and you just want to feel fabulous and have your hands free, this bag is it. So this particular style fits the iPhone, lipstick, cash, and a small compact. Again, the essentials. She's the most I've spent on a bag, and she was $1,100, which is still cheap compared to a lot of the designer fanny packs, bum bags, belt bags. I bought her from a consignment shop in Japan, guaranteed authentic, and this particular bag has been on my list for over 7 years, and I finally found the exact style that I wanted. I was trying to decide between the black or the red, but the black one was the one that constantly popped up, and I bought it. I just love the belt because it has the gold chain detail that Chanel is known for. So you'll see me wearing her a lot. I wear this all the time. I take this with me on the go when I'm at swim meets. Yes, I am the fab mom in her silk pajama set and a Chanel fanny pack. We don't do yoga pants. So I have to say this is technically my favorite because my husband bought this for me. Love you, Alan. So this is the vintage Chanel camera bag. And yes, she's gorgeous. And Alan bought this for me. I think it was $900. Again, a steal. And I wanted a classic Chanel bag that no one else had. That's why I did not get the double flap bag that everybody else has. And I absolutely love the camera bag because it features this diamond stitch, which is very unique, and then this tassel detail. How beautiful is she? She's the most perfect bag. She has a cute little pocket on the outside. The inside is roomy enough for all the things. Plus, I can wear her crossbody like this. I can wear it over the shoulder. And she's one of those bags that I can dress up, I can dress down, and as I mentioned, what I love is she's very unique. Nobody else has her. And if you are looking to invest in a Chanel bag that nobody else has, I would highly recommend the camera bag because it's just such a versatile style. And then, you can't go wrong with this detail. It's so good. This bag is the reason why you should listen to me whenever I make recommendations, because I'm never wrong. Maybe it's the Capricorn in me, and maybe it's just I just know fashion really well. So a long time ago, over 10 years ago, when fashion blogs were a thing, everybody went out and bought the Celine luggage tote. Super cute bag, but all the fashion girlies were dropping between $2,000 and $3,000 on the same bag. What did I do? I was like, no, I'm gonna go vintage. And I bought this from a consignment shop for $250. Look at how perfect she is. Everyone else is trying to sell their luggage tote on the real for $300. But here I am, and she's now worth about $1,500. So I would say this is definitely a lot more ladylike and classic than I typically lean towards, but I just loved her so much, and so I can wear her with a top handle like this, or also crossbody, and I can go hands free. And she's just like the perfect pop of red. And it's definitely one of those bags, you know, when I'm 75 and still fabulous, I'm going to be so glad I invested in her. So here's the lesson, kids. Do not buy the trendy it bag everybody else is buying. Go out and buy the vintage style, because you are going to have the vintage style longer than any other trend lasts. I promise you. This cutie, another belt bag, bum bag, fanny pack, whatever we want to call it. I feel like some of these designers are a little too glam to just be called a fanny pack, but I got this cute little Louis fanny pack a long time ago. I think she was about $500, and while I do wear her a lot around the waist, the way that she was meant to, I'm going to show you how I style her up in a second. I would say this one is very tiny. It's much smaller than the Chanel, but it still fits the phone, fits the essentials, and it's just like a really good neutral bag to have that is like fuss free. Like you're going to Disneyland, you're going out for happy hour with your girlfriends, this is like the perfect bag. And I'm going to show you how I like to change it up and just make it a little bit fun. I don't know if I shared this strap on this channel before, but I'm going to link to it because this is my go-to bag strap, and it is a brand called Salt, I think, and it's a cool bag strap. And as you can see, this bag has a little belt loops, and then I just put the strap hooks on it, and then this turns into a fabulous crossbody. And again, you know I love a good print mix, and this just really adds that spice that I love, and it's just like another fun way to wear this bag. So I would say if you've got some cute little mini bags, get a strap like this, because it definitely makes the bag a little bit more fun, and it's just another accessory. So we went through Posh Spice, we went through Baby Spice. This is Sporty Spice of luxury bags. So this is a Fendi. It's not vintage, but it is secondhand, and this one I picked up for about $200 on eBay from a trusted seller, guaranteed authentic. Don't sleep on eBay, and I'll talk to you about it in a second. What I love about this is like it's a really sporty, easy bag. I can throw anything I want in it. I don't have to be careful about how I'm using it, and it goes with everything. And let me show you the cool part of this is it actually collapses into this tiny size, like literally the size of my palm. It's a perfect travel tote. So if you want to take a bag, but you don't want to worry about, you know, wrinkling it, creasing it, or just it taking up a ton of space, this is a great bag. I really love it. And voila, she's like a really fun shopper tote. This little baby, the Pochette, was my very first designer bag purchase. So when I was 18, 19 years old, I ate ramen for an entire month so I could save up the $175 for the Pochette. Yes, that long ago, it was under $200. I can't believe now, thinking back, that that's what I did for fashion. But Paris Hilton had this bag, and I needed to have it, and I'm so glad I still have it because she's come back. I think she goes for like $1,500 now. Cannot believe it. And she's just a good everyday bag. I like to throw her on over my shoulder, and it's great for date night, but just also carrying the essentials on the go. As you'll notice, I have a few Louis Vuitton bags in the epi leather. So this is that textured leather, and I absolutely love it because it doesn't have the branding all over it. So if you're going for a more minimalist vibe or that quiet luxury BS everybody's talking about, this is the style. And I got this one, I think it was again about $250 from eBay. I do a lot of research and shopping on eBay, and I find the best deals, FYI. But I just needed a good like bucket bag that fit all of my essentials. It's fuss free, it holds its shape, it's super cute, and it's like the perfect cognac color leather, and it just goes with everything, and it gives me those like 60s and 70s vibes that I'm looking for in an outfit. So this one I've had for a very long time, and she's like been through a lot with me. Here's some advice for you. If a love interest or a partner offers to buy you a Louis Vuitton bag, don't be practical. The one time I was not practical and I was like, sure, take me to the Louis Vuitton store and buy me a bag. My ex took me to the store on Rodeo and I got this Louis Vuitton Alma bag. Again, this is the epi leather. And guess what? That relationship did not last, but she's lasted. So it's been about 16, 17 years I've had her, and she's great. I'd say this style is definitely much more mature and classic than I skew, but that's why I've got this strap, because even though I don't use the strap for any practical purpose with this bag, because I like to hold her by the handles, I just add this to it, and I can just show you. Like now she looks cool. She doesn't look like granny bag. She looks very much like a stylish person's bag, and that's why I think it's great to invest in one of these straps. And again, don't go for practical. Ask to go into the store, buy the bag, because she will stay with you forever. I'm going to talk about these two bags together because you'll notice that they're kind of similar. So they're both vanity bags. This one is a Chanel, and as you can see, she's kind of taken a beating over the last year because I've used her a lot. She's going to go in for spa service soon. And this one is a Louis Vuitton, and I'm going to talk about how I spot these cool bags in a minute, but these two were really great deals. This one was around $200. I'm telling you, like the Louis Vuitton bags and the epi leather usually are a much cheaper find than the ones with the monogram print. So that's why I got this one. She's so big, she fits so much in this little bag, and she's great for taking on the go, or if I want to add that 1950s inspired aesthetic to my look. So Chanel brought back their vanity style, but the new ones don't fit a cell phone. I know, you paid thousands of dollars for a bag and it can't even accommodate the basics. That's why vintage is the way to go, and she fits a ton of stuff. She's got a little compartment for your makeup brushes, but I don't use her for my makeup. I use her for my everyday, and guess what I add to her is this strap. I also have a chain strap, and so this bag has the leather loops, and then I just added these gold hoops so then I could easily add this strap. And then again, I can just carry her with this top handle or wear her crossbody. And this strap, again, adds just that fun color and the prints that I absolutely love. This Gucci tote I bought for myself when I turned 40. We went to Rome, and Rome has some of the best vintage stores and secondhand pieces, especially if you love Gucci, if you love Valentino, if you love Chanel. They have a lot of great stuff. And the store I walked into, I met the owner. His name is Simone. He and I bonded because he said he's obsessed with Rose Bowl Flea Market, and I said I'm always there. I live near it. He loves Levi's, he loves cowboy boots, and he had this whole store of amazing vintage Italian designers, so we became instant BFFs. And I paid only $200 for this tote. It is a 1980s Gucci, and it has suede, and the suede has almost like a cool like animal print, zebra print texture to it, and it's leather. And again, this is like such an easy bag to have. It fits all of the things, and I've been using it a lot ever since I had Violet, because she also fits like the diaper bag essentials. Like, I'm not carrying some ugly diaper bag, I'm carrying a Gucci instead. I know you may be surprised that I have a lot of black or neutral handbags. I'm really surprised too, but at the same time, I wear a ton of prints and a lot of color. I think just having black bags that I can just swap in and out, that are in a lot of different sizes and shapes and come with different straps, like just really helps me change things up really easily. And the main focus can be my outfit, and I don't necessarily have to lean on a bag to add the color. I've spent over 15 years building my collection, and it's always revolved around vintage because I love vintage. I love having unique pieces nobody else has. I like saving money, and I promise you the quality of vintage is so much better than the new stuff. I have a Instagram reel that you can go watch. I'll link it in the description below. But basically, vintage Chanel bags such as this one and this one featured hand stitching. All of the new stuff is machine made. The leather quality is far superior in vintage bags, and an interesting detail that a lot of people don't know is a lot of the vintage, well, all of the vintage Chanel bags, all of the gold that you see is 24 karat gold plated. So all of these details are 24 karat gold plated. The new stuff is just colored metal that tarnishes overnight. So those are just a few reasons why I think vintage is the way to go. And I think that's also the reason why you're here, is because you want all the intel. And sometimes I wish I had like a USB drive that I could put all of my knowledge on and then just transfer it to you. But I'm hoping this video will help you kind of understand the whole process of vintage bags, luxury bags, and you can learn a little bit more. So I'm going to share some little tips with you because I always share the good info with you all. So the first thing is make a list of the bags that you want. It's important to make whether it's a Pinterest board or an inspo board, but then have a list and identify the budget that you have total or for each bag. This is really, really important because I think while investing in designer bags is really fun and it's a great way to show your personality, it's also important to stay on budget. Once you have your list and your budget, then you want to create a search alert. A ton of websites offer this service for free. So eBay, Vestiaire, Gem and Fashion File will let you input specific keywords. So every time an item using that keyword is listed, you get a notification so then you can shop. It's doing the work for you. So for example, if you love this little Chanel belt bag, you can make search alerts on all of those websites and just say vintage Chanel belt bag. And anytime someone lists an item using those keywords, you will get an alert. Some are push notifications, some are email. It doesn't matter. You want to know as soon as an item is listed so that you can look at the photos, you can see, is it the color that I want and is it the budget that I'm willing to spend on it? One of the best things about building your vintage designer bag collection is it's going to be so unique. Nobody else is going to have that same exact bag. And even if they do, it's going to be slightly different. And that's what I love about shopping vintage. So when you are shopping for these bags, look for the offbeat, look for the unique, look for the interesting. The reason I was able to get both of these bags for such a huge discount is because they're not the traditional bag. They're actually vanity bags. These are used for makeup and accessories for travel, but I use them as handbags every single day. And this is where, when I tell you, I like to set trends, I'm not just blowing smoke up your you know what. So years ago, I searched for this bag. I knew I wanted something that looked like a vintage vanity bag, but I wanted it to be very luxe. And I found this Louis Vuitton can bag. That's what this is called. I bought this, and a year later, Louis Vuitton brought back the style in the monogram print with a strap. So Louis Vuitton, I know you're watching my moves. So this is why, like, look for the interesting, because you're going to have that very unique bag that nobody else has. It's going to have very special meaning to you, but I promise you all of these bags come back as a trend, but you don't want the new stuff that everybody else has. You want to be the trendsetter. You don't want to be the follower. Thrifting and vintage shopping are an endurance sport. I always like to tell you this. So you need to put some time, you need to put some effort into finding these gems. And I dedicate about 1 to 2 hours every week searching on eBay, Etsy, all of my go-to sites for all of the pieces that I want. Even though I have the saved searches and I have the search alerts, they're gonna notify me like I am not trusting AI to do all of the work for me. I am putting the time and the effort to find those gems as soon as they pop up. So you have the list, you know what you're looking for. Think of cool search terms. If you're flipping through a vintage magazine, or maybe you're just watching Sex and the City and something pops up and you're like, ooh, I love this style, start searching on all of these websites, and I promise you, you will find really cool pieces by putting that time in. So once a week, put 1 to 2 hours into searching. That is your homework. So I always like to stress the importance of looking for potential over perfection. So I mentioned this cutie has been well used over the last few years, and when I got her, she did have a couple of light scratches, but because I've been sending my bags to the spa service, I know that they could be repaired. So if you see something that maybe needs a little bit of retouching, maybe there's like a little scratch, you could always reach out to a couple of different companies. One is the Leather Pros, the other one is the Leather Surgeons. Both have tons of experience working with the high-end bag companies. They actually, both gentlemen did all the repairs for Chanel, Hermes when they used to outsource that. So they are experts, they know what they're doing. So if you see a bag that's in perfect condition, that's $3,000, and then maybe you see something that's $1,000 that needs a little bit of retouching, and you can just invest about $300 and get it looking brand new. So this cutie needed to be completely restructured, and the strap broke off, the gold was just not looking as bright, and I paid a few $100s and she looks brand new, and they reshaped, completely rethreaded this. I mean, she is a brand new bag and she's 40 years old. I know, we're both wrinkle free. Of course, there are tons of websites out there that sell a lot of secondhand and vintage designer bags. Many of them probably say everything is authentic, but they're not always guaranteeing authenticity. So if you are shopping online, make sure that the company offers an authenticity guarantee, plus they have a return policy that will allow you to return if it's not real. I know a lot of people have been burned by some of these websites that do guarantee authenticity, and then they get a bag and it turns out it's not real. There are a lot of authenticators out there, and I will link to a few of them for specific designers for you. But if you are ready to drop $1,000 on a bag, spend the $50 or the $100 to get it authenticated by a third party. I've done that with all of my bags. And that way, if this authenticator was like the leader in the business says, you know what, this is not real, then you have that certification and then you can return the bag. So don't want to scare you, but it's important to have that authenticity guarantee, the real fashion file, vestiaire, rebag, and even eBay has introduced this amazing new authentication process. So these are all websites that I would feel comfortable shopping from, but I would also do the third party authentication because you are making an investment and you want to make sure what you're buying is real. So I'm not here just throwing out all this information at you and just sending you off on your own. I did a little bit of shopping and research for you. So I'm going to share some of my finds and my favorites for you, and I'm going to drop a link below for you. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you loved my little handbag collection. I feel like when I go to Tokyo next month, I'm gonna have to buy something, and I kind of want to get something in a bright, punchy color because I'm just looking at this lack of color happening here, and I'm like, maybe I need something in a green or a blue or a bright pink. But if you have any questions about buying secondhand or vintage designer bags, leave them in the comments below. Happy to answer them for you. I share a ton more tips on my blog, which I will link for you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next Friday at 8 a.m.